This is the Long Haul Pedalcast with John McGavick and Steve Schools. Incredible stories of endurance coming from the prairies. Be inspired to create your own long haul journey. In this pedalcast, we talk to Michael Vandenham, the Canadian National Cyclo-cross Team coach, and originally from Brandon, Manitoba, for a preview of the upcoming World Cyclo-cross Championships in the Netherlands, and he shares his insights on the team and the course. In part 2, coming soon, we'll have much more on Michael's cyclocross journey. Welcome back, everyone, to the Long Haul Pedalcast. Today we have a very, very special guest, Michael Vandenham, multi-time national cyclocross champion, current Canadian National Cyclo-cross coach, and we're joining him in Europe just before the World Championships. So welcome, Michael, to the Pedalcast.
Thank you very much, John, Steve. I'm super happy to be here. It's great. I'm in Netherlands right now with the national team, so good timing, I think.
Yeah, perfect timing. And also welcome my co-host, John McGavick. So great to have everyone here, because I think cyclocross has brought all three of us together, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But maybe just to start off, Mike, there's so much we want to talk to you about with your racing career, your coaching career, many other things. But right now you're in Netherlands just before the World Championships. And we haven't done this before in the Pedalcast, but let's try and do a pre-game show and your insights into the Canadian team, into anything else, for people that want to, view the World Championships this upcoming weekend. Any insights that you have for Canadian cyclocross fans?
Oh, that's, insights into the Canadian team. I guess first off, who are they?
Yes.
We have 14 athletes out here representing Canada across all of the categories. And the team has kind of hovered around that size for the past number of years, anywhere between maybe 14 and 20-something athletes. And I think maybe this is just a stereotype of Canadians, but they're all good people. I'm really excited to be working with this group of athletes. I think, whatever their goals are, and everyone has different goals at this event, all that we're looking for kind of out of this is the best possible result for that person. A great race doesn't always mean a result that pops out. There's so many different ways to kind of get to that point. So I think repeated, but if everyone goes out there on the team and just it sounds a little corny almost, but gives what they can and makes the most of their day, it's successful. That said, we do have athletes like Raphael Carrier is back. She was third at Junior Worlds last year, and of course it's her first year in elite, or first year in U23. That's a big jump up, but has kind of been hovering around the top 5 in that category all year. Is going to be starting on the front row. So that's kind of an exciting race to watch. There's also Emilien Belzil. He was just outside of the top 10 in the junior men's race last year. He was 11th. He's back in the junior men's field for another year, so has another crack at seeing if he can move up that order a little bit. And you know what? The course at Holst, I would say, suits mountain bikers, which is another way of saying kind of suits Canadians. A lot of our team comes from some sort of mountain biking background, whether it's a discipline that they really focus on in the summer or something that they maybe did just dabble in or did prior to racing cyclocross. I find that the athletes who are coming over on the Cross Project for Canada have a very, very high level of skill on those mountain biker type features. And Holst, if you've watched it before, with all those steep ups and downs, kind of just favors that type of rider. So I'm really excited to see what everyone on the team can put together this weekend.
Okay, yeah. So you mentioned a few names like Raphael Carrier. That's definitely a name that sticks out. And Belzil. What are some other names that fans could watch for?
Sure. I mean, if we were referencing way back to Winnipeg, there's actually still a familiar face, not to make Megali sound old or anything, but Megali Rochette's racing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. On the elite women's field, and has had a really solid season, going back to the USCX rounds. Hasn't raced as much in Europe this year, but again, I think kind of a style of course that she could be really good at. And then we also have Sydney McGill in the elite women's field.
Right.
She's coming off of her, I believe it was a career best world's finish last year, or very close to it, and has been racing in Europe sort of since the North American season ended, and it's just been kind of piling up a bunch of solid results. Rest of the team, Cody Scott is kind of another full-time crosser. He's representing the elite men. We have 2 U23s, Rhett Bates and Matisse Duval. For both of them, this is their first Worlds with Cross, so really awesome experience. I remember my first Worlds as a U23. it was in Louisville, and then I came over for Hogerheide the following year, and it's like, whether I hope they both have amazing rides, but even if they don't, like, this is the stepping stone that you take
Right.
Yeah.
to keep on developing your career, right?
Right.
And then we also have, most of the way through the team, so I might as well say all of them. We have Nico Knoll, who you just talked to, who's, again, first year in U23. That's a really hard jump, but she's been putting together some solid races and has another 3 years after this one, too, in that U23 field. Dorothée Perron is in U23 women as well. We have 2 junior women, Lexa Haviland, who ended up on the podium over Christmas Cross at Golegum and has kind of been in the mix for the top 15, top 10 all season in that field, as well as Claire McKinnon. And then on the junior men's side, there's also Farland Lamont, Grayson Franks, and Sagan Gortz. So yeah, solid team kind of from all sides of Canada, Quebec, Ontario. No Manitobans this year, unfortunately. I'm the Manitoban representative.
Right.
Alberta, BC, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, a little more on, you said it's a kind of a mountain bike style course. And
Mountain bike, like, effort course.
Yes.
There's not like
Okay.
it's not like there's any Rudy technical
Right.
drops or anything like
Right.
that, but there's a lot of punchy stuff.
right.
Stuff where conserving momentum and weighting your bike properly and getting on the pedals at the right time and getting off the brakes at the right time. It's a course where that stuff matters. It's not just like, we think of Hogerheide that happened a couple days ago here. There's lots of just big slogs in there where the strategy is pedal hard. Of course, pedaling hard is an asset in all bike races.
Right.
But Hulst has a lot more nuance to it.
Okay.
And a lot more, like I said, bits where you have to like carry the right amount of speed into the right section. And I just think that favors people who have spent a lot of time riding off-road on any type of bike, be it a mountain bike or a cross bike.
Right. Yeah, no, that's really, really good insight. And I think also you said, like, a lot of Canadians, I think what you were trying to get at is, it's hard to focus just on cyclocross to make, make that as your sport, because it's a fairly narrow time frame. But being able to also be a mountain biker, which a lot of these Canadians are, I think that blends well, and hopefully it really works out well for this national or this World Championships.
Yeah, a lot of our athletes, most of our athletes are cross-discipline or multidiscipline
Right.
athletes. I'm going to forget the exact number right now, but over 50% of the team that went to Mountain Bike Worlds, for example, had done a cross
Yes.
project with Cycling Canada
Yeah.
at some point in time. And the same is also true. A lot of the athletes that are here, I don't have a number on it, have done a mountain bike program at some point in time. And that actually extends to road as well. I think there was 8 athletes who were selected for the Road World Championships in Rwanda this year, had done a cross program at some point in time. And we go back even further, and there's actually athletes who ended up doing track sprint who had done a cyclocross program at some point. Like Stefan Ritter was an athlete, and then Maggie Coles-Lister, who's still a professional athlete. She actually was in Hogerheide in 2014 or 2015, doing the World Championships that year, which is crazy to think about because track is pretty far from cyclocross, except that it's all still pedaling a bike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is actually a great thing, because actually Maggie Coles-Lister was here in the Nationals back in 2014, and at the time she was very focused on cyclocross, and now she's made a massive impact on track racing for Canada. And I feel like we didn't by chance we're touching on this, but cyclocross is such a great way to learn the sport of cycling, all the skills of it. Like, I think of someone, we're definitely going on a tangent, but like someone like Michael Woods, he could have maybe jumped in a few cyclocross races and maybe learned those bike skills a little quicker. But I feel like that is maybe a shout out to cyclocross racing in general, how it can be important for mountain bike racing, road racing, track racing, all the different types of cycling disciplines.
For sure. And I think, like, if you're a parent, which I am, my son's only not even 3, so we're not racing bikes by any means. But like, if you're a parent and you're like, hey, what's like the easiest, most accessible cycling discipline that's also going to be fun, and we can kind of like be there to support our child? Like, well, it's probably cyclocross.
Totally.
Or BMX racing, but like, it's something that's in these nice confines, and cross has the opportunity to do that, which is why it can be such, I obviously raced it as a means all by itself, but it's also such a great development sport, regardless of which direction you want to go after that.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know I keep going on a tangent, but just another sport, triathlon, Tyler Mislawchuk, who is Canada's best triathlete, he was racing cyclocross in Manitoba, working on his bike handling skills. So,
okay.
yeah, it's definitely a great sport for all cycling disciplines.
Agreed. Dan Martin in his book references the fact that he did not race cyclocross, and that put him at a disadvantage on the bike handling, especially in the spring classics. So where he was really strong anyway. So
yeah,
but I totally agree on the parent side. It is the best entry level discipline for young people getting in there. We've been watching flow bikes. We've been watching the races. The weather has been insane. You have some days there's no mud. It's dry. It's sunny. You have other days there's snow and frozen ruts. What's it like right now?
Well, in Hogerheide, we were calling it Belgian dusty, which is, I mean, we're in the Netherlands, but which isn't actually dusty at all, but it was kind of like, whoa, this is really nice. That said, it started raining around noon today. It's 4 o'clock right now. And there's a bunch more rain in the forecast. So fingers crossed we get a little bit of mud. I mean, it's nice to stand in the pits when it's all sunny and everything. But like, let's face it, we all want to watch. We all want to be a part of a muddy cyclocross race.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to race one anymore, but I sure want to be a part of one at the World Championships.
And then maybe to sort of wrap up the preview, we did chat with Nico Noel and got a little bit of insight into the Christmas Cross program. I assume because you just flew in last week, you were maybe not on the ground for the Christmas Cross program, but could you give us some insight into how that went for our juniors? Apparently they were in nicer accommodations this time. What was the experience like from your end for how our team did over the Christmas holidays this year in Belgium?
Oh yeah, great question. Yeah, and yes, I was not there for the first time in a while. It was time to spend a Christmas at home, I figured. So
with heat.
With heat. Thankfully, the assistant coach that is here with me, Sabrina Bureau, has done four or five cross projects at this point in time as the assistant, and was 150% capable of leading the project on her own. So she took the reins on that one, and it went really smoothly. And results-wise, it was also a success. Again, I had looked at these numbers, and these things drift away from my mind, but I want to say we had three different riders on the podium over the course of that in 3 different categories: junior women's, elite women's, and junior men, and something like 8 other riders with top 10s, which, if I'm putting this in perspective, when I started racing, that was not happening for Canada. When I started, it was, if we had people finish in the top 30, that would have been a truly remarkable result. Finishing on the lead lap would have been a truly remarkable result. And, that still is a very impressive result for athletes that are doing that. But I think it's kind of a testament to both how the program has grown, how different clubs across Canada have kind of embraced cyclocross, how the whole national scene has grown. It's a testament to that we're seeing all of a sudden, hey, we have 3 athletes on the podium in different categories, 3 different athletes, and all these other athletes in the top 10, and it's not really that surprising, right? It's amazing to see, but it's no longer surprising. It's what we want the standard sort of to be when we're doing these programs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It sounds like the team is going over there thinking this is more than an experience. This is our chance to really compete at the world level. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Cyclocross, especially Christmas Cross, is still development focused, but it's now development with a more than a fair amount of performance sprinkled in.
Good.
Right on.
Well, good luck at the upcoming World Championships, and we'll all be cheering for you. So excellent on that.
Yeah, we'll be watching live on Flow Bikes. So here we go, Canada. This is fantastic. I watch every cyclocross race on Flow Bikes. I always feel distant from it. Every race, you get to know the names, you get to experience part of the race as a fan, but really hearing from Mike on the inside about the names that we're going to be listening to or going to be seeing this weekend, their backstories, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to know those names going into that race, who to watch for from the Canadian team, but also the course, that it is the dynamics of the course. It's a little more of that punchy mountain bike style. Something to kind of pay attention to as you watch. Like you just have a little more insight on the course, which sometimes when you're just watching on TV, you don't quite get that same kind of sense.
Right. And Raphael Carrier, who is probably our biggest medal hope currently, I think has a really strong pedigree in mountain biking. So maybe this is a good omen. And the fact that it's Tuesday today, it's starting to rain already. It's going to rain tomorrow. So it'll be very different from the races that we've seen so far this year on the UCI World Cup circuit.
Absolutely. And yeah, I think it's, so many of those Canadian riders have that mountain bike background. So maybe this is their race, maybe it isn't, but it sounds like we've got a solid team there to have some great performances.
And this is our biggest Christmas cross palmares for the Canadian junior and under 23 group. So maybe it's going to be a good year. I'm really looking forward to watching the races this weekend.
Yeah, definitely going to be a lot of fun. Hey, Pedalcast fans, you can now reach out to John and Steve through email. Our email is longhall@umfm.com. longhall@umfm.com. So you can send us all your questions, all your compliments, and we might get to them on the Pedalcast. So thanks for listening, and reach out to let us know what you're thinking. Thanks for listening to the Long Haul Pedalcast. Be sure to subscribe and keep listening to all of these incredible stories that will help inspire you to create your own long haul journey.